Hello guys and welcome to Glide by Prep Eve. So today in this video I will be talking about some of the most common reasons of the Canadian study permit refusal. So what are those reasons, and I will give you some tips and advice on how you can avoid that. So the very first reason is irrelevant course. So I cannot stress enough on this point that you should always choose a course that is specific to your field of study. And if you have a long education gap, so for example, if you have done a bachelor's now and in between you have like 4 years 5 years of experience, then always go for a course that is relevant to that work experience. So I will be honest and truthful with you guys. A study permit file that we filed for September 2020 got refused for this very reason. So the student had a bachelor's of electronics and communication engineering, and then he has been working in a bank, like at an executive clerical position from the past 5-6 years. So now he wanted to go back to electronics and communication. So we gave him the course of IT network security. But the study permit was refused, and primarily the reason being that the visa officer is not convinced that his level of establishment matches what he has already done. So a quick learning for us, for everyone, that we should always choose a course. If the education gap is long, always choose a course relevant to the work experience, whatever you are doing right now. So this is something very important. Second thing would be choosing a very generic course. So what does that mean? Like, there are some courses like global business management, project management, that everyone tends to choose, right? That okay, I have done this, now I should just go for project management. See guys, understand this thing. Visa officer is not a fool, okay? If you are someone who has just passed out his engineering, or if you are someone who has just finished his graduation and now you are going for a course in project management, it doesn't make sense, not just from the perspective of visa but from your career perspective as well. Who is a project management manager? Project manager is someone who has some years of experience, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Only then that person is, in a capacity to work as a project manager. So if you are going for a project management course right after your bachelor's or something, it can lead to a rejection. So although there are many acceptances as well, but like, if you can really justify that in your letter of motivation, then yes, it will definitely work. So from letter of motivation, the third reason being the letter of motivation itself. So the letter of motivation is that human touch. All right. So when the visa officer is looking at your profile, what he sees is that okay, this certificate, this degree, that degree, this percentage, that percentage, right? Those are all artificial things. But how do you talk to the visa officer? Through the SOP. Your SOP is extremely relevant. And let me tell you one thing, that SOP can make or break. If you are someone who has a problem in the profile, you can justify that with the SOP. We have a study permit acceptance at the age of 32. Why? He worked a lot on the SOP. Your SOP, or it is also known as the letter of motivation, plays a huge role. You have to connect the dots. What you have done, what is your motivation to pursue this course at this time? Why do you think that you need that course, right? Is that because a consultant recommended it to you? No, right? You have to tell your personal motivation that okay, at this particular point of time, after doing this, then after having some work experience, or right after your bachelor's, this is my motivation to do this course. And you have to connect it, that why after finishing those course you will come back to India or wherever you're from, to basically build a career here, right? So this is the third most important reason why the study permits generally get rejected. Fourth reason, financials. All right. So the visa officer really wants to make sure that you have enough money so that you can afford the high costs of international education. So it is highly recommended that you attach a good net worth certificate attested from a chartered accountant with your profile, which shows that okay, how much money do you have, liquid assets, or basically your property, your value of gold, etc. And if you are going for a 2 years course, show the next year's fee in your bank account and mention this in your SOP as well, that I already have the money that is required for the next year's fee in my bank account. So I have that with me, you don't have to worry, right? The fifth reason that I certainly believe for visa refusal is obviously IELTS, right? So yes, overall 6.5 and 6 bands in each is required, but target for more. All right, IELTS is not a very difficult test. You can definitely get a higher score. The difficult it looks, right? It is your perception how you look at IELTS. It's a very easy test. Trust me over it. You can definitely get a very good score on it. So try to get a good IELTS score. It really matters a lot. So I think I have discussed 5 reasons, but if I give you some more reasons, so financials, SOP, IELTS, irrelevant course, yeah. And another thing would be that if you guys, like, if you already have a very good work experience, say 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, then it is highly recommended that you go to a university for a good course. Okay, because see, when the visa officer would be looking at your profile, he has already looked at 7, 8, 9 profiles, right, for the same college, for the same course. Now those people might be 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds who have just finished their education, but you are someone who has 8 years, 9 years of gap, right? You have some work experience. Now the visa officer would not be convinced that your level of establishment matches the level of establishment for that course, right? So for that reason, always consider a good course in a good university if you have a long education gap. So that is going to be the way forward. So these are some things that you should definitely avoid, and these are the things that you should definitely take care of in order to ensure that you get the visa acceptance. So this is it. I hope that you liked the video. Please like, share and subscribe if you think that whatever I am sharing is genuine, if you think that whatever I am sharing is adding value to you guys. So give me a thumbs up in the comment box if you like this video, and see you very soon.